Hey foodies, welcome and welcome back to Cooking with Kiana. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make spaghetti with meat sauce. Now this is not your regular spaghetti with meat sauce, okay? We are going to be making this sauce from scratch. And I'm telling you guys, once you guys try this homemade sauce, you are not going to want to have it any other way. But before I begin, if you are new here, please take a quick second to subscribe and make sure you guys leave a like if you enjoy the video, and let's get started. Alright guys, so here's a list of ingredients that you are going to be needing for the meat sauce. You'll need about a pound of ground beef, 1 pound of ground hot Italian sausage, and for spices and herbs, I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of Grill Mates hamburger seasoning. If you can't find this, you can substitute this for some all-purpose seasoning, 1 tablespoon of complete seasoning, 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, 2 teaspoons of crushed red pepper, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of onion powder and garlic powder, and about a teaspoon of accent seasoning. You'll also need 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I like to do this to add a little bit of savoriness to my spaghetti, as well as a cup of red wine. And I like to add this in because it really boosts the flavor. But if you're someone that does not want to add red wine, you can always substitute this for some chicken broth or some beef broth. You'll also need 2 cans of San Marzano style whole peeled tomatoes and 1 can of San Marzano style crushed tomatoes. I like to use a mixture of both. That way we can get a little bit of texture in our spaghetti. And of course, you can't forget the herbs. You'll need 3 sprigs of thyme, 4 cloves of garlic chopped finely, a half a cup of chopped parsley, 1 large onion diced, and 1 bell pepper diced. And remember, I have correct measurements of everything in the description box below, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. So let's get started with the meat sauce. You're going to add the ground beef and Italian sausage into a large pan over medium to high heat. And of course, you're going to go ahead and break that up. Then you're going to add in your onions and peppers. You're going to go ahead and stir that in until they get nice and translucent and start to soften up a little bit and release out some of those natural oils. Then you're going to follow that up by adding in your seasonings. I'm going to go ahead and add in my Grill Mates hamburger seasoning, some Italian seasoning, some onion powder and garlic powder, as well as some complete seasoning, crushed red pepper, and black pepper. And don't be afraid to season this to taste, okay? However, if you don't know how much seasoning to put in this, just go ahead and check the description box below or check the beginning of the video. I do have the correct measurements of seasonings there. And just use that as a guide, guys. So you're going to go ahead and give that a good stir until all those seasonings are well combined. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and make a little well in the center, so I can add in my 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm going to go ahead and add that right in the center. And what we're doing right now is we're going to bloom the tomato paste. This is going to really amplify and boost that flavor and honestly take that meat sauce to the next level. So you're going to go ahead and give that a good stir for about 3 to 5 minutes. Once the tomato paste turns nice and bright red and it starts to caramelize a little bit, you're going to go ahead and add in about a cup of red wine. And you're going to go ahead and give that a good stir. That's going to help deglaze your pan and get off all of those seasonings and flavor, because we do not want to waste that. I'm going to go ahead and follow that up by adding in 1 can of crushed tomatoes and 2 cans of whole tomatoes. And make sure you don't make a mess like me. Make sure you're using the San Marzano style tomatoes, okay? If you know, you know. Once you are done adding in all of your tomato sauces, you're going to go ahead and give the sauce a good stir so all of those flavors can really marry into each other. You're going to let your sauce come up to a slight boil. Once it does, you're going to go ahead and add in the thyme, the parsley, the garlic. If you have some fresh basil, you can also add that in as well. If I had some, I would have added that in, but I didn't. You can also add in a bay leaf as well. Then I like to add in about 2 tablespoons of sugar. And before y'all say anything, this is just to balance out a little bit of that acidity, okay? I promise it's not going to be no sugary sweet spaghetti. However, if you are watching your sugar intake, you can just cut up a carrot and add that in and you're going to get the same effect. So once you're all done stirring that all together, you're gonna go ahead and pop that lid on and let that simmer for at least 3 hours. If you want to, you can go even longer, it'll taste even better. So it has been 3 hours and my sauce is finally done. As you can see, it is nice and chunky and thick like I like it. But if you want, you can go in with an immersion blender if you're looking for a smoother consistency. So at this point, you can go ahead and taste it and adjust it. See if you need to add some more seasoning. I went ahead and added a little bit more complete seasoning, and I added about a teaspoon or so of accent just to wake up that flavor a little bit. Now go ahead and give that a good stir, mix everything all together. And if you want to, you can go ahead and put the lid back on and let this simmer for another hour. If you wanted to, you could even cook this in the crock pot. Went to work, came home, and boom, dinner's done. It's just that easy. And man, just look at how meaty and saucy and chunky that meat sauce is. You guys definitely need to give this meat sauce a try. Alright guys, so now let's move on to our spaghetti noodles. And of course, we all know how to cook them according to the packaging instructions. I just like to go in and add a little bit of oil so my noodles do not stick together. And I'm going to go ahead and let these cook for about 8 to 10 minutes, making sure I stir them occasionally so they do not stick together. Those noodles are al dente. You're going to go ahead and drain them from the water. And I like to add in about 2 tablespoons of butter and just go ahead and mix that together. You know, just to further make sure those noodles do not stick together. And now it's time to plate this. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the little trick where you swirl it around so it could look nice and tall. And then you're gonna go ahead and dump that delicious meat sauce on top. And of course, if I wasn't filming this, I would have mixed it all together and ate it just like that. But for video purposes, we're gonna leave it like this so it can be nice and pretty. Then I'm gonna go in and add a little bit of mozzarella cheese on top and then top it off with some parsley. And y'all, let me know in the comment section below. Do you guys like your spaghetti all mixed together? Or do you like it with the sauce on top like this? Let me know in the comment section below. And that is it, guys. That is how easy it is to make this homemade spaghetti with meat sauce. If you wanted to, you could add some meatballs in there, or you can add some Italian sausage in there. Serve this with some garlic bread and you got you a quick little meal. Hope you guys all enjoyed this recipe. If you did, I have left a full recipe in the description box below so you guys can make this at home. When y'all do make this at home, leave a comment below letting me know how it turned out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.